Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliates across the country, including ATL FM in Cape Coast, Radio Max in Takoradi, and around the world at myjoyonline.com. In this edition, Chairman of the Minerals Income Investment Fund dares NDC MPs to write to London Stock Exchange to allege procurement breaches in a Japa royalties agreement.
NDC will continue ranting this way, and NDC wouldn't want Ghana to succeed in any transaction.
We'll tell you more as Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is set to meet today civil society organizations that have been opposing the deal. Also, security and political analysts called on security agencies to clamp down on speedily on perpetrators of violence ahead of December elections following alleged assault on MP for Ododo Diodio.
The national security seems to be sleeping. And once you have a sleepy national security, chances are that maybe Kaswa, you can go to other fronts in this country if you ask the national security.
We'll hear from them as well as residents of the area on the recurring violent acts there. Gender Minister reveals government will provide safe havens for women branded as witches following attacks on them in their communities.
It is a very dicey thing. What we are looking at is giving these wonderful elderly women a safe haven.
In sports,
we'll get reactions from the camp of Wilfred Osekwe Kupama as CAS dismisses his appeal against the Ghana Football Association's elections committee decision to disqualify him from last year's presidential election. And
later, we're still on the 21st Vodafone Ghana Music Awards, and this time we'll hear from the winner of the Hip Hop Song of the Year category, Kofi Mole, on how he predicted his win.
I think Don't Believe is like hands down the Hip Hop Song of the Year.
Now the award goes to Kofi Mole.
We have that and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apawu. Details shortly. And in our very first story, Chairman of the Minerals Income Investment Fund, George Mrekuduka, is daring NDC MPs to write to the London Stock Exchange over the alleged procurement breaches in the controversial Ejapa deal. The deal will see Ghana assign part of its rights to receive royalties in an effort to raise funds for development. It has been opposed from many quarters who argue it is not in the best interest of Ghanaians. Government has justified it and recently accused the NDC of hypocrisy after it emerged the opposition party had attempted to create similar special purpose vehicle. As the controversy rages, we bring you a news desk report on the story so far.
This deal is not welfare improving. It's not welfare enhancing.
The controversy over the deal came to light in August this year in Parliament, when the minority NDC opposed the agreement, insisting it was not in the interest of the nation. In the deal, government is hoping to raise some $500 million by assigning its rights to receive royalties from some gold mining companies. To this end, it registered the Japa Royalties Company Limited in the United Kingdom's town of Jersey, which is a tax haven, as a vehicle to float some 49% of the rights to these royalties. Some 15 civil society organizations, including ASEP and ISODEC, raised issues about what they said is a lack of transparency on the part of government. They urged government to suspend the deal, as the controversy could deter potential investors from taking an interest.
One, it is registered in a tax haven. Two, there is some names that have come up which is politically exposed. While the deal was not consulted, it was also rushed through the processes.
Deputy Finance Minister Charles Edubuahin disagreed.
This is an equity transaction where we are selling shares in an equity vehicle, totally different type of structure.
The opposition did not end, neither did the government's defense.
I find it's a very shady deal. And I'm saying if I become president, I will not respect that agreement. It is a theft of Ghanaians, royalties.
People, unfortunately, are politicizing a deal that we are trying to do for the benefit of all Ghanaians.
Transaction advisors for the agreement spoke after it emerged. Attorney General Glory Kufu had advised that the deal was skewed against Ghana. Gabi Otredakon spoke on their behalf.
Attorney General said, we have reviewed the latest letter and the reference and the submitted draft agreement and know that our comments have been incorporated and changes effected to the draft agreement.
Policy think tank Imani Africa insisted the AG's advice has been ignored.
When you take the suggestion that was made in the previous advice, particularly 22nd July, that there should be a fixed term through the transaction, that is not reflected in the final agreement. So there's still no fixed term.
The CSOs petitioned the Finance Ministry on the matter, But Minister Ken Ofori-Atta discounted it after the deal had been described as an elite capture.
I think, the issue that really was hurtful and made me discount the letter was when they ended saying that we are trying to stop elite capture. The mindset in which it was brought, it makes it really very difficult to see whether it is genuine.
Mr. Ofori-Atta has, however, extended an invitation to the CSOs and is set to meet them today.
Now, as a news desk report, minority spokesperson on finance, Atro Forson, says he intends to write to the London Stock Exchange on the matter.
We are writing officially to the Financial Conduct Authority in the UK. We are writing to the London Stock Exchange. We are not petitioning them. We are putting them on notice that we, the members of the minority, believe that this deal is not in a transparent manner. We believe that there are things that this administration is hiding from us. We don't even know the value of the company. We believe that the value of the company has been understated.
Now, the chairman of the Minerals Income Investment Fund, George Mirakuduka, says the minority MPs are, as usual, working against the good of Ghana.
NDC will continue ranting this way. And NDC wouldn't want Ghana to succeed in any transaction. They wrote letters in the Sino-Hydro deal. They walked out from Parliament during the NHIS. And I'm reassuring Ghanaians that we have nothing to hide. This deal is a fair deal. It's something that is going to really propel the engine of growth of this country. It's something that we need to support wholeheartedly.
And we are told that the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, is set to meet the CSOs today. Thankfully, we've been joined on the phone by Dr. Steve Mantiel of ISODEC. We're grateful for your time here on the Midday News. So we're expecting a press conference from the CSOs today. Let's clarify, is that going to happen?
Well, yes, the group of CSOs, we know more of 15, we are about 21 now. We actually had scheduled a press conference today, but last night we had information from the Finance Ministry that the Minister would want to engage. And so we actually in the process of getting ourselves ready for this afternoon's meeting.
Well, this particular deal, the 15 CSOs, now 21, had described it as an elite capture and asked for its immediate suspension. Going into this meeting today, are you hopeful that that will happen?
Well, I must say it's good to engage. And in fact, better to engage in good faith. So we go into this meeting with a very open mind. We seek nothing short of safeguarding the national interest of the transaction. We're not really dead against what government is trying to do. There's nothing wrong with seeking to optimize your returns from your natural resources. But I think our major concern has to do with the level of transparency, the lack of accountability provisions in the very law that set up the stage for the Ejapa transaction and all that. So what we're seeking to do really is to provide further safeguards of the national interest so that at least we know as citizens and as stakeholders that at least we are covered in the transaction.
So what is the expected posturing are you expecting from the finance minister and government for that matter on this particular issue?
Well, we're hoping that the finance ministry will not take an entrenched position coming into this meeting. If they do, then of course there will be no need really calling for this engagement. You call for engagement when you are willing to listen and to accommodate concerns of those who are worried about the way you are proceeding. So if you come into this meeting and for you it's a foregone conclusion, then of course you must as well not engage.
So you're going into this meeting hopeful that the concerns that you had raised will be taken into account, or you're expecting a suspension outright?
First and foremost, like I said, there are serious weaknesses in the Mineral Income Investment Fund Act. These weaknesses we want addressed. To do so, you cannot proceed regardless. You will need to put a hold on your roadmap or your steps you are taking to implement the law. And so we expect that, yes, the ministry will be willing to slow down the process a bit, first and foremost, for much wider consultation, and then again, for putting in the safeguards that will safeguard the national interest.
Well, you finally got the attention of government as CSOs. Briefly, how has the struggle been like?
I didn't get that.
I'm saying that you finally got the attention of government as CSOs for this meeting to happen. I was asking briefly about the struggle.
You're asking what about the struggle?
About the struggle for you to get the attention of government finally on this issue.
That is what you call democracy, right? In democracy, there's something you call participatory decision making. And I know the government understands that better than we do. Okay? And so once citizens raise concerns, I think it's just expected that a government that understands the principles of democracy would engage.
Okay.
And so, yes, we came out of this meeting. If we are not satisfied that at least we've secured the immediate safeguards for the interest of the country, we will continue with our struggle.
We're grateful for your time. That's Dr. Steve Mantiao of ISODEC, and the 21 CSOs, we're told, are meeting the finance minister later today, Ken Oforiatta, and we'll be monitoring that meeting. As and when we get the latest on that, we'll bring it to you. And we enter the election headquarters now on the midday news, and security and political analysts have called on the country's security agencies to clamp down speedily on perpetrators of violence ahead of the December polls. It comes after police failed to arrest anyone involved in the assault of Member of Parliament for the Dodiodio Nilante Vanderpoy. Mr. Vanderpoy, who has served notice, he will report the matter to the Speaker of Parliament, claims the perpetrators' identities are known. Security expert Adam Bona is worried if lessons have not been learned from the Ayawaso Westward Gombai election violence. He spoke on the AM show.
The intelligence setup in this country largely is inactive, except to say that somehow you still have the defense intelligence setup working. But when you talk about the national security, for me, I have, over the period spoken and said that the national security seems to be sleeping. And once you have a sleepy national security, chances are that maybe Kaswa, you can go to other places in this country.
And that's security analyst Adam Bona. I apologize for that quality in sound. But on his part, Sheikh Arimiyao Shaibu of Election Observer Group Kodeo says intensive education needs to be conducted ahead of the polls in December.
A certain long-term work needs to be done on the mindset of the ordinary Ghanaian, so that that inherent violence inside us can be transformed into more positive element that will promote our democracy. And I think on that score, we have not done so much. And this is a complete reflection of what we are seeing. And as the election approaches, we are now on tenterhooks. We just have to now be more active. Let the peaceful ones occupy the center stage.
And that's Sheikh Arimiyao Shaibu of the Election Observer Group Kodeo. Now, earlier, my colleague Manuel Cranton returned to Jamestown, where the incident occurred, and has been speaking to some residents.
She anukwaleni yomi ina yenunga bunehi ina kajilemu. She no me beni ni ebeli ejemuku na kemonhu. No me bis akawo mini eapin. Now, according to the Menio area,
but he's telling me that he personally didn't see the live action go down, but he heard sounds and shouts of people calling for help all the way from the police station, which is just about 50 meters from where I'm standing. The MP's cameraman to take pictures of a completed toilet project that was constructed by the former assemblyman. And so the assemblyman asked his boys, to ask the cameraman to stop taking the pictures. That ended them up in the police station where the MP tried to bail his cameraman.
The way now me feel politics 4 years ago,
he's not happy with the incident that went down yesterday in relation to the MP. But he alleges that all this started from the MP himself. He mentions 2012 and says that the MP had arranged for boys to go and attack the Esla Owusu.
If you want more revenge, advantage
he's telling me that it's a matter of revenge and reprisals, so that if somebody wrongs people, then when they get to their advantage, they also want to return the favor. And he's calling that these acts be abandoned.
My colleague Manuel Cranting, we were interacting with residents of Jamestown a while ago. Now you're still in the election headquarters, and NDC flag bearer John Dramani Mahama has promised to construct first-class roads at Bolgatanga in the Upper West region if re-elected to power. Mr. Mahama, who is on a tour there, also assured abandoned projects at the YUDS campus will be completed as well.
Upper West region and Bolgatanga, capital of the Upper East region, remain the only two regional capitals that are not linked with first-class roads. We started work on it before we left office. Unfortunately, the project has been abandoned. I can assure Wana that in our next administration, before we leave office, the road between Wa and Bolgatanga will be a first-class road. And as Wana will know.
Now, he also urged the people of the area to show up when the voters' register is open for exhibition.
There will be the exhibition of the voters' register, and I wish to encourage you, just as you came up to register, the exhibition exercise is equally important. And so when the EC brings the register and asks us to go and check our names to make sure our names are in the register, let's take it as seriously as we took the registration exercise itself.
Now, today, the president has also been talking about the Wa Regional Hospital. My colleague Rafiq Salam will join us shortly, but let's listen to what he's been saying about it.
To provide the seed money for that hospital to be able to run efficiently. We built the Wa airstrip years ago, and in our last administration, we upgraded it to the Wa airport, providing facilities for arrival and departure. I wish to assure the Wana that we will continue to upgrade facilities at the airport, at the Wa airport, so that it becomes a major destination for air travel in this country.
We can now listen to the Wana Ali Seidu Pelpo, who says the era of juicy promises are over.
Most Ghanaians are now deciding and will make informed decisions based on the track records of the various political parties and politicians. It is therefore on this call that the people of the West Central constituency acknowledge and express their immense gratitude for the development projects you brought to the constituency during your tenure of office.
That's the one, Ali Seidu Pelpo. And as we continue fact-checking some projects captured on Government Delivery Tracker website, we take you to the Bono East town of Dromankese, where one of the projects captured on the website as ongoing is non-existent. Residents say there's no such project currently in place, despite government stating that a 3.95-kilometer upgrading of the Dromankese town roads on its website. Now, Anas Sabet was in the Nkranza North District and came through with the following report.
So we set off today to find out from ourselves the situation on the ground, and we've been engaging some of the community folk, and this some of the things they've been telling us in relation to the state of the roads here in Dromankese.
Honestly, there are no machines currently on the road. We are still working in this dusty environment, and I haven't seen any machine here. I've however heard that there is a road construction between Fakwasi and Atibubu. Currently, there is no work on the road, but we've heard that the contractor will be here soon to start work. But as it stands, it's not true that work is ongoing here.
Some of them tell us they've been seeing some few folks within the community in the past few days taking measurement of the road. So to them, that is the very reason why government might have captured it on its website. So they are optimistic that soon the road will be under construction as stated by government.
3 weeks in About 3 weeks ago, I saw some officials taking measurements of this road, so we asked and we were told they were going to construct the town roads. But since then, we've not seen them again. We've seen officials taking measurements, and we are optimistic that it will soon be constructed.
The current state of the road has several economic disadvantages to the people here who are predominantly farmers. They share with us the effects of the current state of the road to their economic activities.
Our major headache is this road. It's terrible. Even when we are to send a patient or a woman in labor to the hospital, the person might end up dying on the way.
Another situation at Romankesi in the Bono East Town later tonight on the Joy News channel on PM Express. Evans Mensah, together with education analyst Kofi Asare, will be hosting the Deputy Education Minister, Dr. Educhum, on the NPP's manifesto when it comes to education policies. It's live at 9 p.m. on the Joy News channel. And still on politics, later on Voters' Voice on Election Brief on the Joy News channel, we'll look forward to hearing the voice of the people on what policies will inform them in selecting their preferred candidates in the December polls. Today, we took our microphones to the Kanishi market. Listen to what people have been saying.
Banco don't know the one. I've got a system. Let me be colon cover Siama. Mijana Nukwanaga. Kakaya Akufa do Vasia. Happy, to Abano Bian to make Kupuadu. Then you my panel of Yanu. Long to us on Yanisku. Kaya for the Munko, Kunomusamunya Skuni Biada, no Munkondating. I'm to my president, 3 ministers, 3 doctors for Emma Mangana. Yeah! No,
If you want to catch the full version of Voters' Voice on Election Brief with Araba Kumsing, is at 1:30 p.m. on the Joy News channel, also on all our social media platforms. You don't want to miss that. Our top story so far: Chairman of the Minerals Income Investment Fund, DES NDC MPs to write to the London Stock Exchange to allege procurement breaches in the Japa Royalties Agreement. We also know that 21 civil society organizations will gain audience of the Finance Minister later today, and we'll get details of that as and when it happens. Now, Gender Minister reviews government will provide safe havens for women branded as witches following attacks on them in their communities.
It is a very dicey thing. What we are looking at is giving these wonderful elderly women a safe haven.
And the spotlight is still on the 21st Vodafone Ghana Music Awards, and this time we'll hear from the winner of the Hip Hop Song of the Year category, Kofi Mole, on how he predicted his win.
I think Don't Be Late is like hands down the hip hop song of the year.
Now the award goes to Kofi Mole.
It's time for sports, and that verdict we've all been waiting for is finally
11 long months of a legal tussle at the Court of Arbitration for Sports, and of course it's in respect of Wilfred Osei Palmer's disqualification from the Ghana Football Association presidential elections. The case has been dismissed, as you are well aware, by CAS, and Palmer says that he accepted in good faith despite having issues with the grounds for the delivery of the verdict. Iwapia is a member of Team Palmer.
We are sportsmen and we are not politicians. And in sports, you either win or you lose. So in going to CAS, we knew that it could go our way or not our way. So had it gone our way, we'll be wearing white today. So if it didn't go our way, we must man up enough and say that every litigation comes to an end at a point. So for us, this is the end of the road. It's time to move on. It's time to support the current administration and in whatever capacity we can do to help build Ghana football. That's what we are doing. Whichever thing we also urge all our supporters. It's time to close our ranks. It's time to help the current administration to succeed.
So the curtain comes down on Wilfred Osei Palmer versus the Ghana Football Association.
The matter is settled now.
Done.
Okay. That's Hans Mensah with the latest from the world of sports. Now, Gender Minister Cynthia Mamle Morrison says her ministry is in the process of providing safe havens for persons branded as witches after a tour of witches camps in the northern region.
The community refuses to accept that person back into the community because you have visited your witch, a mother who is a witch. It is a very dicey thing. What we are looking at is giving these wonderful elderly women a safe haven. What we are going to do is to renovate where they are, and some of them are integrated with the society. You go there and it is not a camp. There's a community living among the supposed witches. They go to the market, they sell, they farm, they do everything. But the only thing is that they've been isolated from their families. They're thinking of giving them a better life. A lot of them tells us they are not on the leave, and that we are putting them on leave. Yesterday, I have to say it here, I cancelled their program because we want to save that money for our mothers in the camp.
That's Gender Minister Cynthia Morrison. Now, the Venture Capital Trust Fund says its former CEO, Daniel Duku, has begun paying back about 15 million Ghana cedis allegedly stolen from the fund. Mr. Duku and two others are standing trial for allegedly causing financial loss to the state for misuse of monies. The Attorney General has told an Accra High Court the officials are ready to pay back the sums. Nana Usubrimpong, who is current CEO, told Parliament's Public Account Committee the repayment has started. We'll get more from that sitting currently ongoing. Now, built around water but with no water to drink. That's the story of Ezile, a small town in the western region. Hundreds of children spend hours fighting to fetch water every day. As part of the Joining Safe Water project, Justice Baidu visited the community. Here's what he saw.
The Ezile Lagoon, in the middle of the Ezile township. It is this water resource that gives the livelihoods of many of the people here. A lot of them are fishermen and fishmongers.
This town sprang up around this water body. It was smaller than it is today, and we all lived by it.
But there is an irony. This town, sitting around this water source, has no drinking water.
As we are getting into the dry season, we are living in fear. No one knows what will happen. It is raining now, but we do not have water.
Ezile is just one of many towns in Ghana still battling with a struggle for water. Justice Baidu, Joy News, Ezile.
Many thanks to Promasido Company Limited. Now, Holy Child School, former champions Infant Pim School and St. Thomas Aquinas Senior High School are among second cycle institutions to participate in the preliminary stage of the main 2020 National Science and Maths Quiz competition, scheduled to take place from the 8th of September to 8th October. Many students who have mounted the NSMQ stage continue to excel in their various fields. In an interview with Joy News at the launch of the 2020 competition, quiz mistress for 14 years, Dr. Elsie Efa Kaufman, said the achievement of former contestants always makes her proud.
My contestants, I call them my superheroes.
Your superheroes,
and it's for a reason, because these are exceptional students.
Yeah.
They are exceptional individuals even before they come to the National Science and Math Quiz. They go off and do great things, either in this country or wherever it is they find themselves. So we expect them to do great things, and they are doing the great things.
Well, in case you missed the declaration of St. Augustine's College as winners of last year's competition, let me bring it back to you.
St. Augustine's College, congratulations on winning the contest. You did it!
Ladies and gentlemen, the new trophy for the National Science and Math Quiz.
And the competition will be live on the Joy News channel and also on all our social media platforms. Let's head back to the Trend Affairs Wonderful Music
Ghana
Awards.
Music Awards. Yes, earlier this year he was very hopeful of winning the Hip Hop Song of the Year at the Vodafone Ghana Music Awards for his song Don't Be Late. Oh yes, and it was a dream come true for Kofi Mole when he walked on stage to receive the award. His reaction is priceless.
I think Don't Be Late is like hands down the hip hop song of the year. Yeah, no hip hop song matches Don't Be Late. Yeah, it was #1 on Apple Music for like one straight month. Yeah, we are prepared. Yeah, this time around we have to grab that award. I think Don't Be Late too, people think like, not people think, that it has a very nice composition, everything.
That was a hopeful Kofi Mole earlier this year, speaking of winning the hip hop song of the year for his popular song Don't Be Late.
Music First, Hip Hop Song of the Year.
Right, now the award goes to Kofi Mole.
The musician won the Best Hip Hop Song of the Year for the song Don't Be Late as predicted. Here is his reaction to his win.
Yeah man, hip hop still lives. Hip hop still lives. This is what Kofi Mole starts. Like at the stand for hip hop in Ghana. Anytime they talk about hip hop, it's Kofi Mole, and there's like a proper confirm. Big ups to everybody who made this happen, Charlie. Myself, bless up, Apostle Gangsters for life.
But tell me, what value does this bring?
So there's like an extra beam for me. like this like an endorsement that Kofi Mole is doing the right thing. So it will help me push more, and I hope to get more. I hope to get far, take Ghana music far to the world. Charlie, this be like a blessing, bro.
Fulfillment or achievement or a challenge?
Dream come true.
Okay. Kofi Mole won the Hip Hop Song of the Year, the 2020 edition of the VGMAs, beating Sarkodie, Kwakese, Medical, Joey B, Eno Baroni, Kwesi Arthur, and Strongman to secure the top spot in the category.
Becky, get out of here. That's it for the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Emefa Apawu. Today on Living Word with Pastor Mensa Otabil, we bring you the second edition of It's a New Season. Stay tuned for more insights on Living Word right after this break.
Look at you.